YouTube, welcome back to Surviving. I know it's been a long time, but I've been going through all of my gear, going through and reorganizing and pulling things out, putting things back together, pulling it back apart again, putting it back together again. And I had a pack that was enormously heavy, kept going through it, kept refining, kept changing the gear that I was going to buy. I know I should have done reviews all along, but did not have the time. Life gets in the way, but here we are. This is everything that I'm taking to Peru. I chose this bag. It's a Mardingtop 50-liter bag that I got off of Amazon. I went through 3 different bags before I finally decided which bag I wanted, mostly because this one's the smallest internal frame. Backpack was why I went with it, because it forced me to keep my pack small. I had a much larger pack. It was like 58 pounds. This one is 38 right now. And I don't plan on putting anything else in here. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to take stuff out. But this is everything: the backpack, all of my gear, all of my rain gear, the clothing I'm actually going to wear on the plane. I have a stainless steel water bottle that I can cook in if I need to. My helmet, goggles. I have a walkie radio that my whole team is going to have one on their helmets. And then I have a GPS system plus maps and all kinds of other things. So just to start off, I'll give you a little overview of the bag. So I have these side pockets that I just have my shower shoes in, my sandals. They're zero shoe sandals. And in here I have a lot of my sundries like bug spray and sunblock and various other items that are just creature comfort items. The top brain has most of my toiletry items, as well as a couple other items that I want quick access to, like gloves, a hat, things like that. And then the internal bag has my clothes, my sleeping bag, my tent, and tools, as well as all of my electronics. As you know, as we've talked about with my one bag travel, I have a Cpap machine, so I need to be able to charge my Cpap, and I've figured out a solution for that I can charge directly off the bike. So I'm going to take the items out of the bag, and then we can kind of go over them a little bit once I have them on the table here. Let's start with the clothing that I'll actually be wearing once I board the plane to leave the country. I'm going to start off by wearing this as my base outfit. So I have a pair of Tru-Spec Ascent pants. I tried out several different pair, and I really like these. They're 65, 35 polyester cotton blend. I wanted something that was not a full cotton, and I couldn't find anything synthetic that I liked fully. So these will dry faster than the cotton, but they're not going to be as perfect as what I'd want, but I think they're going to still serve me well. I have a quick dry. These are from Joe USA. You get them on Amazon. A quick dry long sleeve undershirt. And then I picked up this. It's a synthetic vest. It's just a cheapo from Amazon, but all of my other vests are cotton or are really heavy or are, just overkill for what I need since we're going to be in a jungle. And I got the Monkey Run patch put on the back there. So thanks guys for sending that out. It's going to be awesome. So beyond that, I'm going to have, my wool socks, my ex officio underwear, and then I went through a lot of different shoes and found the Maxim Stealth. They're warm enough for what I need. I also have sock liners and wool socks, and we'll go through all that. So everything that was on the outside of my bag in this yellow pouch, this is a Outdoor Research 15-liter dry bag. This is all of my rain/warmth gear for the Monkey Run. So we'll just throw that over there. But as far as my rain gear and the jacket that I'm going to have is going to be, I have my Columbia, I think this is the Watertight 2 hooded rain jacket. The Series Extreme waterproof gloves. Outdoor Research low gaiters. These are going to keep debris and hopefully rain out of the inside of my boots from running down in through the top. And then I have the matching rain pants from Columbia for the jacket. And then I have an Omni Heat Columbia mid-layer jacket. It's a puffer jacket, but it also has the warm reflective technology on the inside of it. This should keep me pretty warm. I'll also have a few layers, and I'll have my wool sweatshirt and a few other things that I'm going to wear. So that's all my rain gear. Let's take a look at the gadgets that I'm bringing. I'm bringing all of this. It's all in the bag, but I have a 19,800 milliamp hour battery. This is made by Voltaic Systems. It has a 19, 16, and 12 volt out. This will power my Cpap machine for up to 2 nights without having to be recharged. It has a 2 amp charger for it, and these are all the connecting cables for all the various USB, plus a USB splitter hub, and all the cables to run everything. As well as I have my Cpap machine. I can't go anywhere without this, or at least no one else will want to sleep near me. And this is the power supply for it. I have a Garmin 64ST backpacker GPS. This is programmed with Peruvian maps. I could not find a commercially available map for Peru. Peru is actually very poorly mapped. So I found a third-party crowdsourced map that is very, very detailed. Now, I plan only to use this in emergencies. I only want to have this so that I can be looking at my paper map and say, okay, I'm completely lost. Where am I? And have this tell me where at least I am. And then I'll go back to my paper map to try and figure out where I am. A lot of the adventurists will say that this is cheating, but I don't want to be completely horribly lost and not know which direction is which. So I have a GPS system. I have 2 GoPros. I also have various memory, and then there's a bunch of batteries and stuff for it. But 2 GoPros. These are Hero 2s, and then a couple different camera mounts, handlebar mount, chest mount. And then for charging the system, when I'm not in a hostel or in a hotel, or if I'm on the road, I have a USB with a built-in inline fuse. This is for charging my phone or other devices on the road. And then this is a 12 volt cigarette adapter. This will charge my large backup battery. That way when I'm on the road, I always know that when I go to camp for the night, I have power in my unit. This is basically everything other than my phone, which I'm recording on right now. So that's all I'm going to have that is a power hungry device. As far as being able to charge the electronics, the reason why I'm bringing the 12 volt adapter is because I can hook this directly to the battery on the bike and just go all day while I'm riding and charge my main battery backup. So at the end of the night, I can still charge my phone, run my CPAP. If we're not staying in a hostel or a hotel, I want to be able to sleep comfortably because they're going to be long days on the road. And if I can't charge the ARC 72, if I can't charge this battery, then I'm going to be hurting when it comes to trying to get a good night's sleep without my CPAP. This is everything from the inside of the bag. As you can see, I took everything out and laid it out here so you can see how it's packed into the bag. This is everything with the exception of the 2 electronics that were sitting on top, the Cpap machine and the backup battery. Those are on top of everything else. These go in the base of the bag. Everything else kind of packs around it. I went with the ALPS Mountaineering Lynx 1. It's a great little tent. I actually camped in it a few months back when I first got it just to make sure that it was going to do what I needed it to do. I camped in 20-degree weather with it. I went back and forth as to whether or not to bring a hammock camping setup or to bring a tent or not to bring a tent or just bring a tarp. But we're going to be in Peru. We're going to be on the road. I don't want to be caught somewhere without shelter. And this is a freestanding shelter. I don't have to worry about finding trees. It also will protect me from bugs and the elements. Gives me a place to put my gear so that it's underneath a rain fly along with myself. It fits me cozy and comfortable. It's definitely only a 1-person tent, but it's one is perfect for me. I camped in it. It was definitely comfortable and roomy enough for me. I also wanted a sleeping pad. This is the Klymit 4-season insulated sleeping pad. This is the extra wide one because I'm extra wide. I may be losing weight, but I wasn't going to skimp on comfort. Sleeping on the ground sucks, and this actually is amazing. I used it to test it out to make sure. I slept 2 nights on it, and it's fantastic. It's 30 inches wide. I believe it's 6.5 feet long. It's a fantastic little sleeping pad. I've never actually used an inflatable sleeping pad before. I was very, very happy with it. This is a first aid kit that I put together. I could do a whole separate video on just this first aid kit. This first aid kit has antidiarrheal, it has antibiotics, it has a tourniquet, it has blood clotter, it has all different kinds of pain pills, it has everything and anything that I think that I could possibly need, because we're going to be in the middle of rural Peru, and I don't know what we're going to encounter. I also don't know what other people are bringing. I like to be prepared, and I don't want to hurt. And if I do hurt, I want to be able to fix it. So, like I said, there's a ton of stuff in here. I absolutely could do a whole separate video on that. I probably should. But yes, first aid kit, a must. This also goes at the top of the pack. I got some biodegradable wet wipes. These are the Archer. I got them off of Amazon. They don't smell as much as the regular wet wipes, and they are alcohol free. So got those. Some camping, just Coleman camping toilet paper. There's actually a few of these rolls, but this is what I got for now. These 2 bags right here are Outdoor Research Air Purge stuff sacks. These things are amazing. I did test one. I saw a few reviews. I looked them up. Guys were putting their down sleeping bags on them and just dunking them underwater and holding them there. And they seem to work really, really well. I just sprayed water on it and it stayed dry. I didn't submerge it, but I hope to not be submerged, so hopefully that'll work. One of these has all of my clothing, my warm layers, my cool layers, as well as my socks and underwear, and the other one is my sleeping system. So we'll open them up in a little bit and be surprised as to which is which, because I probably should tag them in some way. This is what goes into the brain, into the very top of the bag. This has my toiletries, my gloves, my buff, various other items that I want quick access to. So we can pull all that out in a minute. And this is a metric toolkit. I'll show a picture of what's in this toolkit. But this is a metric toolkit that I put together. I bought a few items. I bought a actual motorcycle roadside toolkit, and then modified it with some of my own items. But this is my toolkit. So this is everything that's on the interior of the bag. I'm going to open up the sleep system and the clothing system so that you can see what's inside of them, as well as just kind of go over what I picked out. All right, I've taken everything out of the dry bags and as well as laid them all out here on the table, so now you can see what was inside of the 2 stuff sacks and the brain bag. So the brain bag, this dry sack that I had, what I had in here is I have 2 pair of motorcycle goggles, one dark tinted and one clear. I wanted to have one of each, as well as I have a USB rechargeable headlamp. These are all of my various toiletries, toothpaste, deodorant, and whatnots. And then a sleep mask, a couple of important items, coffee. And then I have a pair of work gloves, an oversized bandana, a winter watch cap, a merino wool buff. I have a highly absorbent microfiber towel, and then I have a driver's cap. I prefer a driver's cap over a baseball hat. So that's everything that's in the top of the brain bag. And then this is the clothing stuff sack that I had in that outdoor research bag. So this is a pair of ultralight Columbia, I think they're the Silver Ridge pants. They're convertible pants. The legs zip off. I wanted to have a backup pair of pants in case I rip my pants. Also, it's a pair of shorts. I could swim in them if I need to or whatever, but I definitely wanted to have at least one extra pair of pants with me. Then I have this is a merino wool, 100% merino wool Long John bottom. Then I have 2 extra t-shirts. These are quick dry athletic shirts. Joe's USA, they're great from Amazon. They're cheap. They're awesome. Then I have 1 cotton shirt. This is to go with the shorts. It's a cotton short sleeve shirt, kind of Western style button up, but it's just so I have something comfortable as well to wear, and another shirt. 4 pair of the Ex Officio boxer briefs, the best underwear on the planet. Get yourself a pair of Ex Officios, try them out. I guarantee you'll never go back. You can wash them in the sink. They'll be dry immediately. They'll never chafe you. I work in, 19-hour day, hot as hell, and no problems whatsoever. Then I have Costco, which I've preached about before. Costco merino wool. They're 70% merino wool socks. I have 4 pair of those, and then I have sock liners. Being that I'm going to be gone for 15 days, and I'm going to try to get as much wear out of my socks as possible. Wearing the sock liner, you can wear your socks more than once. Once you take off the liner, also makes it easier, to keep from getting blisters and whatnot. Now, as far as my sleep system goes, I went back and forth a lot about my sleep system. I had a down sleeping bag. That's a great down sleeping bag, but it's a 0-degree bag, and it was really big, and then it's down. And if it gets wet, then again, I'm back to the I'm screwed kind of situation. Also, looking at the weather, 0-degree didn't seem like it would be necessary, although it does get chilly. So what I went with is I have a Trekology inflatable pillow. Basically, just inflate this pillow, and then I would wrap my buff around it just so it's a little softer. But this is great. I slept with it. It just makes a difference to have a pillow. I know you can use a stuff sack full of your clothes or whatever, but then this is just a creature comfort that doesn't weigh anything. It isn't big, so it's worth having to me. And then I went with the Ledge Scorpion 40-degree bag. There's a mummy bag version of this, as well as the square bag, like a regular sleeping bag. I went with the square bag because I didn't like the mummy hood, and this is more like a blanket. It also unzips and folds flat if I want to. So I went with this bag. I know it's a 40-degree bag. So to augment that, I also have the Sea to Summit Reactor Fleece. So this is supposed to add 15 to 20 degrees of warmth to your bag, or at least add a season. I also have an emergency bivvy that I'm thinking of bringing just in case I need to level up a little bit more. It's one of those Soul outdoor breathable bivvy bags. Not sure if I want to bring that or not. Maybe you can let me know in the comments what you think. This is the only thing I'm a little bit unsure of, but I love how small and compact it is. I feel like I can deal with it. If it's too cold, hopefully we'll find a hostel. I know that I want to camp at least a few of the nights, if not more than a few. And I think the guys are up for it as well. So, my only concern is above the cloud layer in the mountains. If it is really low temperatures at night, that this won't be enough. But hopefully I won't need it to be much more than what I have. But that is what's inside of the interior compartments of the backpack. Now let's talk about some of the items that are in the external pouches on the backpack. We already went over the GoPros and some of the other electronics. There's a bunch of batteries, and memory cards and other things that go with those. Those are on the front pouches for the backpack itself on the hip belt. But on the back side of the backpack, there's 2 Molle attachment bags. And these 2 areas right here are what are in those 2 back pouches respectively here. So on one side, this is all my water and hydration. And on the other side, this is all my kind of sundry items as far as like I have some sunscreen, some bug lotion, bug repellent, the all-important Gold Bond, some salt and some cayenne pepper because I like my food to have flavor, and why not? I have a spork, light my fire knife, spork spoon thing, a little tripod. This tripod's actually really cool. I don't know where I got it from, but it extends out even though it's a little tiny one. And then I have a few of these. These are, it's like a little rubber grommet that you can slip over the top of a water bottle or a 2-liter bottle or whatever, and then it gives it a carabiner holder. I figured that at some point I'm going to probably want some extra water, or I need to fill up a 2-liter bottle full of gas and clip it to the bike just so I have enough fuel to get to the next place. You can get these on Amazon. They take forever to get because they're from China for some reason. But I just thought it would be a good thing to have. I have a few of these. Now for water. Water is important. So for what I have, along with my my Nalgene, so this is a 32-ounce stainless steel Nalgene bottle. I got the stainless steel one because I figured that it's a water bottle. It's over 1 liter of water. It's also something I can boil water in should I need to. I'm not bringing a stove or anything, but if I build a fire, I can boil water in this. And then the rest of what I have on my hydration and filtration is these Nun hydration tablets. Basically, one of these tablets makes your water into a Gatorade. And then I have some emergency. From what I gather, this will help with altitude sickness as well as just your immune system anyway. We're going to be beating ourselves into the ground. So I figured stay hydrated, drink some emergency. That'll be good. I actually like to make emergency in hot water, really small little batches of it. But anyway, I got a Sawyer water filter, and then this, these are new, this CNOC, it's got really good reviews. They showed people like filled with water standing on them, but it's really soft. Most of the bags that come with the Sawyer or come with most of the water filters are really hard and just like a melted sealed. This is actually made of silicone, and I think it's going to be really nice. The good part about this as a combo is that this opens up into one large opening, so it makes it very easy to fill. And then once it's filled, this screws on to the Sawyer, and then you can filter your water by squeezing it. This is going to be, I think, a good option for me for a lot of reasons. But water is so important. I actually have multiple options here. This is a SteriPEN. If you don't know what a SteriPEN is, it's a UV light that you put it into your bottled water, and the UV kills all the bacteria, all the protozoa. I think it even kills viral, which the Sawyer won't do. Now, it doesn't filter your water, but it does make it safe to drink other than chemicals. Now, none of these are going to filter out chemicals anyway, so your best bet is to try to make sure you're not drinking chemical-laden water. I don't know how you're going to do that, but They do make new adventure versions of them that don't require batteries. They're USB rechargeable. I already own this, so I wasn't going to go spend another 90 bucks to buy a USB rechargeable one. So this has some in it. I put a little plastic cap to keep the batteries from making contact, but it does have fresh batteries in it. And I also have a backup supply of lithium AA batteries. These will also work in my EDC carry flashlight, and as well as several other little items that you know, I'll be carrying. So that's fine. And then water filtration tablets, purification tablets, water purification tablets. Backup for backup. 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 has backup. So if all else fails, I can just take one of these tablets, throw it into my bottle, wait 30 minutes, and it's safe to drink. So I just to play it safe, I have the filtration, the purification tablets. On the outside, in the side pockets, I have, I showed these before in my other video. They're the Zero Shoe. They're super thin, lightweight sandals. They're great for if you're by a pool, walking on the beach, but mostly if we're going to be staying in a lot of places in the rural areas, it's going to be in probably terrible hostels or hotels that are barely a hotel. So they're shower shoes, so have those. So we've covered pretty much everything that's in the pack. Now there's a few items that don't fit into the pack that I'm going to have to take with me. As you can see, this is what's left. Now, they highly recommend that you don't try to buy a helmet over in Peru. I'm not exactly sure why. Might be difficult to find, might be hard to find one that fits an American head. I'm not really sure. But this is a helmet I picked up pretty inexpensive off of Amazon. It's DOT approved, so I'm not really too worried about it. Plus, I mean, we're only going to be doing 30, 40 miles an hour. I had a pair of decent full face goggles, so I put that on there. And we all picked up these. They're not very expensive. They're $45. You can get them on eBay or Amazon. They're walkie-talkies. They're not intercoms, but it's full Bluetooth, so I can listen to music as well as use my phone through it. But it's just a normal FRS or GRMS walkie-talkie, so it's not limited to just a rider and a passenger or a 6-rider limit or the really ridiculous expensive ones that are like $300 that you're still limited to 10 riders. This is anyone that can tune into that frequency can talk on these walkie-talkies. So being that there's going to be 8 of us, we all got one of these, and it has a little microphone that installs inside, and we can all talk to each other. It also has a really sweet little setup where it's a wristwatch that you wear, and the button to activate the push to talk is right on the wristwatch. So I'm pretty happy with it. I actually bought a spare one so that I could see how well it worked, and it works great. I even made some phone calls to my wife through it, and it's pretty cool. I kind of look forward to actually using this on my motorcycle later. So there's that. I just picked up, they're really inexpensive. I'm not going to unfold them because they're just cheap saddlebags. I got them off of Amazon. They were 20 bucks. They're just, I mean, really inexpensive throw over saddlebags. But at least I have something that's not already full of stuff for me to carry things that I might find along the way, or I need to throw some gasoline or some water or something into a saddlebag. Just some really cheap saddlebags. In that respect, I also brought just an extra. This is a 20-liter dry bag that will be in the saddlebag because the saddlebags aren't waterproof. So if I want to throw my jacket without having to pack it all back into the backpack, I can throw it into this and it won't get wet. I opted for some compression straps. These are 4 really long. I can cut to size when I get there. Quick release compression straps. I didn't really want to go with bungee cords because they're kind of unwieldy. You get a bunch of them, they take up a bunch of space, they're hard. Where this is a compression strap, I've had really good luck with compression straps, so I'm thinking that I can hook my tent and my rain gear and some other stuff to the handlebars, as well as some stuff in the saddlebags, and really lighten up the load on my backpack. That way I'm not carrying a ton of stuff in my backpack. And if possible, I noticed that there is a postage stamp of a luggage rack on the back of the bike. I'm hoping that I might be able to compression strap my backpack to the top of that. And then that way on my physical persons, I'm not actually carrying any of the weight. The bike's doing all of the work. Now I'm going to use, this is a little bag that it packs down into itself. It's really light. This bag is good for carrying a few items, but this is the kicker. I have a tire and an inner tube. It was highly recommended by several people who have done the trip, at least the Morocco trip. I don't know about Peru, but regardless, it doesn't matter. Several people said to bring a tire, that they had complete failure blowout tires. Even though there's an inner tube, the tire itself shredded. And when the tire shredded, they were left with little option. And what happens is that in these remote areas, finding one of these little tires is damn near impossible. I read somewhere that somebody said that they took a tire off a wheelbarrow. That was the best they could find, and that they're all Chinese tires. This is a Lang Yufeng tire, so I'm sure it's of the highest Chinese quality, and then and an extra inner tube. I am going to pick up a small patch kit. I do actually have a repair patch kit for my sleep pad, but I don't know that I want to use that on these. I'm going to try and find an actual tire repair kit, but I am bringing a tire. So with that said, that is actually everything that I'm taking with me. My pack weight right now is 38 pounds, not including these other little items. These are going to go into, like I said, these are going to go into this little bag, and then this bag packs really small down into just this little pocket. So once everything's out, I can pack this away, strap this to the headlight or whatever else I'm going to do with it. But that is it. So that's everything that I'm going to take with me. I've gone through a lot of gear to get to this point. I've gone through a lot of different testing. I know I was going to make a bunch of videos for that, but life has been really busy between work and home life, and then also actually trying to research and get everything together for what I need for this trip. That just didn't happen the way I'd planned. I leave in 9 days, and that's excitingly terrifying. So I look forward to producing a couple more videos. I'm going to try to do maybe something on my first aid kit or my EDC. I'll go through maybe a little bit more detail of the stuff that I'm going to carry on me. But if that doesn't happen, look out, because the next videos are going to be actually in Peru. I showed the 2 GoPros that I'm taking. I actually plan on taking 1 more, as well as my phone. So I plan on really kind of covering it as best I can. So I look forward to that. And the other thing is that now that I have a lot of this stuff, I plan on doing a little more outdoor activity, maybe not quite a monkey run, but I want to go out and do some hammock camping this summer and do a few other things. So I'm definitely going to put some more videos together, and maybe you guys can come along. So thank you, and keep surviving.